This presentation will look at fatigue and recovery within sport, how we can delay fatigue and best recover after exercise. Firstly, there are two types of fatigue, effectively. You have physiological fatigue and psychological fatigue. Within physiological fatigue, you have three categories, being local, general, and chronic fatigue. Local fatigue is localized to certain muscle groups, which is caused by repetitive contractions and without recovery time. So that could be push-ups or something during training. General fatigue is more post-exercise. So after a hard training session or a game or a competition where you would put in close to maximal effort or just high intense effort, and this would make you feel physically weak and could have symptoms like DOMS. Chronic fatigue is where the performer overtrains too much without proper recovery, and this would cause a weak immune system and feeling physically and psychologically drained. For psychological fatigue, this would be during a performance or a training session and is caused by the performer not potentially giving full effort. So they may not be physiologically fatigued or physiologically at their max, but would give up anyway due to psychological reasons. Sporting examples of different intensities, we have the 100 meters at high intensity, lower duration, where it's a maximal race, so you want to do it as quick as possible and wouldn't be affected by you wouldn't slow down that much as it's only 10 seconds long. You also have 400 meters for the medium intensity, medium duration, and finally a triathlon for their low intensity, high duration, as it lasts for a very long time. Maximal intensity, short duration. This predominantly uses the ATP PC system, where the PC and the ATP is stored in the cytoplasm of the muscle cells or the muscle fibers. The neuromuscular system firstly recruits the fast glycolytic muscle fibers, and these fast glycolytic muscle fibers have are large muscle fibers, meaning that they can produce a large contractile force. But the cause of this is that the energy system is easily depleted as it only lasts approximately 10 seconds. This is useful for a 100 meter sprinter, as 100 meter sprint for top elite athletes is about 10 seconds or just under. So they would be predominantly using their ATP PC system as it's the first to be dominant and it's the easiest to use and access. Similarly, a javelin thrower would also use this, as it's very explosive movements of throwing that javelin, but then obviously throwing it over and over again, where with their 3 attempts throughout a competition, that would use their ATP PC system, and the times between throws would allow recovery time. delaying fatigue in high intensity, short duration. Looking at the javelin thrower here, and an investigation by Parolin et al. 1999. They found that over maximal bursts with short recovery times, they found that overall the production and ATP turnover is reduced between intervals, and the PC store and glycolysis is also reduced. So this means that effectively the power output would be decreased as well without sufficient recovery time during intervals. So that means that over time the javelin thrower would eventually start lowering in the distance that they can throw, as there won't be sufficient enough time to recover their phosphocreatine stores and their glycolytic stores, which in the first interval is the majority of their energy throughout the interval. A way to delay fatigue is also by taking PC or phosphocreatine supplements, and this effectively increases the phosphocreatine stores, meaning that they can work at high intensity for at intervals more easily and more efficiently, as there would be a higher PC store. Shown in this graph that exercise without PC supplements saw a 17% decrease in performance, whereas exercise with the supplements saw a 3% increase in performance over time, which shows that the PC supplements help in the interval training and interval sports.